Hey Mountaineer fans, and welcome into another edition of Talking About Preseason. This is the Southern Vermont College 2018 softball edition, and we are joined by four Mountaineers this afternoon. From your left to right, we have freshman Tessa Sheeds, senior Nicole Matthews, senior Shay Wilson, and sophomore Brooke Gates. Ladies, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Brooke, we're going to start with you. How do you think the preseason has gone so far?
I think it's really well. We have a lot of freshmen that came in, but overall, they're doing really good.
Nicole, who has raised your eyebrows the most with how they've performed during the preseason?
I think definitely our freshmen overall, especially the ones working really hard in the infield. And we have a lot of players, returners, trying out new positions to help us in gaps where we needed people to fill in. So we've been able to fill in those spaces to have stronger infield and outfield.
Tessa, what's been the best part of your preseason?
I think being able to get into the gym every single day and be able to hit off of the machine and go in and do all our infield drills, I think that's really been helpful with everybody.
Shay, what's been the worst part about your preseason?
Worst part is probably always being stuck in the gym. Last year we got the same snowstorm in the same time we did now, and we just don't get to go outside a lot. I think we've been outside once this whole preseason, so it's kind of hard, but it is what it is.
Brooke, what characteristic of this team makes it special and has led to how the preseason has gone for you guys?
I think the attitude is really good. We pick each other up instead of putting each other down.
Nicole, how do you think this year's preseason has been different than those of years past that you've been here?
I think this year's been a little bit different. Instead of having to work back and going to fundamentals like we have in years past during preseason, we've been able to get past starting at fundamentals and starting from where we left off last season and just working from there to improve from where we ended off last season.
Tessa, where do you think this team is right now heading into your first week of the regular season?
I think we're ready to go. There's obviously some things that need to still be worked out, but once we hit the dirt, I'm confident that teams will be surprised at what they see.
Shay, what will the team have to do in order to get back into the postseason and make a run at the championship?
I feel like going to Florida is definitely a big help. Last spring break we only played two games to start it off, and now we have close to 10 or 12, so I think it really gives us a good chance to actually get out there and experience it all.
Brooke, what game or two on the schedule are you and the rest of the team most looking forward to?
Well, I don't know about the rest of us, but I'm excited for Mitchell just because Mitchell was a good team last year. We definitely could have beat them, but I think we definitely can have them this year.
Nicole and Shay, this question is for both of you guys. What are you most looking forward to here in your senior seasons?
I think being able to compete the best we've been able to since we've been here would be really exciting, and being able to get back in that postseason and making it past the first round would be really great to finish out.
Yeah, I feel like last year was surprising that we even went to playoffs, and I feel like this year we have even more potential, and it's exciting to see how far we get to go this year.
Tessa, why do you think this team will be successful this year?
I think this team will be way more successful than anybody expects us to be because this is the first team I've been on where I can truly say that we're a family. If somebody bobbles a ball, 5 people are behind them waiting for them to stick with it and continue the play. So I just think with that mentality of having everybody's back, teams are gonna be surprised when they see us.
Final question again for the two seniors. What do you guys think the Mountaineer fans can expect to see out of the team this year?
I think they can expect a lot of good quality play during the season. We're really excited to get more fans out to watch us play and everything like that, and hopefully maybe a home playoff berth this year.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot more competition. We'll be able to stick out more games, unlike last year, but I feel like it's going to be good.
All right, very good. We've got a few more here. These are a little more lighthearted for you guys. Open-ended questions. Feel free to jump in as the answers come to your head, whoever's got them. So, first one, who on the team has the best dance moves?
Taylor.
2 years in a row.
Definitely Taylor.
Who's got the worst dance moves on the team?
I feel like Taylor's the only one dancing, so it's kind of hard.
Well,
to
her
say.
and Carly both have like
Yeah,
spurts of
Carly,
random
yes.
dance moves.
No, well, Carly takes it seriously, like it's a performance. Like she's rapping that song and she's getting it completely correct.
Who would you say is the funniest on the team? Who's the team clown?
Tessa.
Oh yeah. That's me.
Unanimous decision. Who's most likely to not necessarily be late, but be the last one to show up for the team bus?
It matters if it's a morning bus. If it's a morning bus, someone might need to call me. I might be running.
Who is most likely to take the audio cord and be the band DJ on road trips?
I feel like Julia.
Julia.
Julia's all about karaoke and.
I feel like
She always-
Carly did it a lot last year
Yeah,
too.
too.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Who's most likely to be doing homework on the team bus?
Nicole.
Nicole.
Senior problems.
Yeah.
It's almost over. It's almost over. Very good. There you have it, folks. Once again, ladies, thank you for joining us today. Best of luck this season. The Mountaineers open up regular season play on Monday, March 12th with 2 games down in Fort Myers, Florida. They'll be there all week before returning back to the Northeast. And then they head to Skidmore before starting New England Collegiate Conference play on Friday, March 30th, which is also Southern Vermont's scheduled home opener at Willow Park against Mitchell College. That first pitch is slated for 3 p.m. We will be right back with head coach Paige Gage here on Talking About Preseason. Ladies, one more time, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hey Mountaineer fans, welcome back into Softball's Talking About Preseason. We are now joined by second-year SVC head coach Paige Gage. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
First question, we just heard from 4 of your players, but how do you think the preseason has gone so far?
I think the preseason has gone very well. It's been a lot better than last year just because we have a lot more options. We got people competing for different positions, and it's just been fun watching them compete and learning new things, and it's been very exciting.
How much different was it to have a year under your belt, and what did you take away from last year's training that helped you have a better preseason this year?
I think what helped me last year is last year we learned how to do the little things right, even though we always didn't do them. This year we kind of learned the different drills that can help us go from the level we were at last year to a whole different level. So we were able to increase the difficulty at practice and picked up the tempo a little bit, which when we do that, it's a completely different team. So that's a lot better than kind of being slow and taking it kind of step by step. This year we're really able to get into it and keep a high level pace, and it's been really great.
Now, you guys were supposed to start the regular season last weekend. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had different ideas. So you got a couple more days of practice, before you got into the regular season. How ready do you think the team was before those games were canceled and going into your real first games next week in Florida?
I think they're going to be a lot more ready this week because unfortunately we had a lot of girls sick last week. So last week we pretty much had 5 girls at practice every day. But we were able to get out on the field last week, so before Mother Nature came. And I was surprised to see how great they did fielding on dirt for the first time. Outfield did great. We got on the rugby field a couple of times, which was amazing to see them just take what we've been doing in the gym and be able to do it perfectly outside. So this week we had a lot of practices that were amazing. So I think we're all ready to go. We'll have a light practice today to get ready for our flight tomorrow morning.
What do you think is the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's?
I think the biggest difference is actually the newcomers, because the newcomers are pushing the sophomores, juniors, and seniors and kind of making them better. Because last year we just had kind of one person in each position, so no one could really fight and compete for a spot. This year we got freshmen who want to play, and they're gonna push the older classmen to make sure that, hey, I'm here, I want to play, so if you want to play, you gotta be better than me. So competition has been huge, and I think just having that big class of freshmen come in, it's doing great wonders for us.
Kind of touching upon that and the different numbers of the players within the different classes you have. You had no seniors last year, and now you have 3, junior and a lot of sophomores and freshmen, as you said. And so you didn't lose anybody but the players who returned got a real quick and small taste of the playoffs. How do you think that has kind of impacted their mindset and their work ethic through the end of last year all the way up through the end of your preseason this year?
I think it made them hungry because they saw how close we were last year. One play here and there could have been a different story how we ended up last year. So knowing that we can get there, we know what the teams have, we know who we need to be, we know what we need to do to get there. So I think being there, it's like, all right, we can actually do it again. And just having this kind of team we're at now, it's like, all right, well, they're going to talk to the younger classmen and all the freshmen coming in saying, hey, this is where we were, this is where we want to be, this is what we need to do to get there. And I think everyone's just waiting around for March 1st to come, or May 1st to come around and see where we are.
For a long time, this program has traditionally gone to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina for its spring trip. This year you guys are going to Fort Myers, Florida, so kind of changing things up and breaking that tradition. Can you just tell us why and what you're hoping to accomplish down in the Sunshine State?
Being here, and I'm new, this is my second year, this is my first real spring trip here, so everyone was saying about Myrtle Beach and how it was. I'm like, you know what, let's go somewhere different. I'm new, I've spent time in Myrtle Beach, and I'm like, you know what, let's just see what Florida has to bring. And looked at kind of who we're playing, and I think we have a really good shot of coming out with quite a few good wins. And I think it'll be a good spring break over what we had last year, because I kind of owed them that. I owed them a nice long week in Sunshine State. It's going to be 70s all week, which is going to be beautiful. And I think the teams we're playing, it's going to be a really good competition. So they'll learn a lot, and they'll be able to take that right into them on March 30th when we have our first conference game, weather permitting.
I was going to say, nice little change of pace going down there after dealing with almost 2 feet of snow here in Bennington.
Yes.
So, very good, Coach. Thanks for joining us again today, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.